Hey guys, this is the Airsoft God coming to you with a video on basically when you open up your version 2 Gearbox, or what you can expect. If you have like a more lower end gun that's not like a VFC, GMP, and all that good stuff, then you're most likely going to have like a couple key things that you're going to want to get rid of. You're probably going to have, this is a spring guide, you're probably going to have a plastic spring guide, which is not good because your spring is going to be rubbing up all against it, and obviously plastic isn't a great material to hold up against that, especially in more stressful setups. However, some guns come with like solid metal spring guides. I mean, these are good, but most of the time you want to spend a couple extra dollars and get a bearing spring guide, ball bearing spring guide. Those will increase the life of your spring. It won't die as fast, and you'll have to put bearings on your piston head because in high-speed setups you need your piston to be light as you can. Another thing, you're probably gonna get some stock crappy bearings, or like the G&G crappy brass bushings, or plastic or nylon or some crap like that. You want to get rid of that stuff. I usually preferably go with any decent kind of bushing. Usually I go SHS, CCI. I like pretty much anything. It's only a couple dollars, and you can't really go that wrong with the steel bushing. So there you go. You're gonna have this little thing called an AR latch. Most of them are fine. You're not really gonna have a problem with that, so you don't have to worry about that. Stock tappet plate, no problem there. Just make sure it's sort of flexible. It'll be alright. You're probably gonna get cylinder head, looks kind of like this. You know, nothing special here. Most of the time you won't get a perfect air seal out of these stock. Usually I wrap some Teflon tape around it to make sure that there's a perfect air seal there. I do put a faucet washer or Sorbo to correct the AOE. Cylinder, nothing really special. Just make sure that your ports are matched up for your barrel length. That's one thing. Piston, you're probably going to get something looking like this. One metal tooth here, rest plastic. Piston head, nothing special there. Just make sure you can get a perfect air seal out of it. Stretch the O-ring, see if that works. Sometimes these stock pistons heads, they just don't want to work with a perfect air seal, so you might have to replace that. Another thing is the nozzles that come with the air nozzles that comes with the guns usually do not have an O-ring in them, which makes it very hard to get a perfect air seal there. But some I have seen with no O-ring and still perfect air seal. It's kind of crazy, but it's happened. I mean, you're also gonna have obviously some sort of trigger assembly. Most stock ones are fine unless you've been running it on a 11.1 without a MOSFET and sort of burnt it out. We'll start to see carbon on this trolley here, and inside the trigger contacts, if you want to look in there, you'll see it there too. You can, if it's not too bad, you can just take an eraser and get that off real quick. But if it's wrecked, I mean, it's only a couple bucks. Just replace it, get a MOSFET, and you're good to go with well, you're not necessarily good to go with 11.1, but with a proper tune-up MOSFET, you'll be fine with an 11.1. You'll probably get some plastic safety mechanism. It doesn't really matter that much, but I kind of like to have metal personally. Another thing you'll get is the cutoff lever. It'll sit right here in your gearbox, and usually in like pretty much any stock gun, you're gonna find that these are crappy hot metal that just kind of sucks. I mean, so just replace that. Not a big deal there. A couple bucks. And most motors will be crappy stock ferrous motors, and the magnets will be very weak. This is a stronger. This is a neo magnet motor. This is a nice one. But if you have some spare money on your hands, go ahead and grab a neo motor. It's not a big deal if you have a ferrous motor. It just you're losing so much performance there. I cannot live with the ferrous motor. Do not like them. Another thing is, I don't have any Tamiya connectors with me, or whatever they're called. I like to run Deans usually. These are about 60 amps when Tamiya connectors are like 10 or 15, I think. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that number there. Definitely look into replacing them with Deans. I mean, it's not that expensive, and it's going to be worth your while. Gears. Usually gears that come with stock guns are pretty decent. I mean, nothing too bad. You get all sorts of variety. I don't know what kind of gears you'll get in your gun. These are an Elite Four set I just had laying around, so I used them on this video. So yeah, those are some basics on what you will find in your more lower end guns, and it's not a big deal. Like, you can still replace the parts, and you'll find yourself at much cheaper price than if you had bought like a VFC or GMP or something high end like that. You're gonna spend less money upgrading your tuning up your lower end gun. Get a better gun too, probably. The thing is, now you got all this stuff here, and what are you gonna do with it? Are you just gonna put it back together and throw it together like that, or are you gonna tune it up and do it properly? Now, tuning up is basically basic things that'll make your gearbox more reliable and run better. Shimming, I have like hundreds of shims there, which is basically getting the most gear contact that you can possibly get without grinding. But you do want to shim pinion to bevel. I don't have a good example here, but basically you just want to get this is just a basic explanation. You just want to get the pinion as close and well meshed to the bevel gear as you possibly can, and you want to have free movement. And that's another thing. You want your gears to be able to spin nicely and not grind, etc., etc. I'm not going to explain how to shim in this video. Another thing is the shell. These G&G shells are kind of weak. You want to make sure to radius them. This one is broke. I was just using this one as an example for the video, and these did come pre-radius, so that might just be G&G, I don't know. But in my M4, it's running at about 42 RPS with the G&G box, and it hasn't cracked, so I'm just gonna leave it there until it does. Alright, so those are just a couple basic things there. One more thing before I go. You do want to correct your AoE, which is your angle. The sector gear is hitting your piston pickup tooth. I already have it corrected here. Oops. All you have to do is put some Sorbo or faucet washer onto your cylinder head inside. Usually about 1/4 of an inch is good with stock guns if there's nothing there. It's kind of hard to see, but it's about perfect right there. And you will have to also shave some piston teeth there. I'm just explaining this stuff. I'll probably make videos on how to do it, but for now I'm just, getting into the basics. Alright guys, thanks for watching.
From his forthcoming album Message from the Other Side, due out in